Most women don't look older because of age. They look older because their clothes are speaking for them. The wrong cut, the wrong color, the wrong fabric can quietly add years, even when your face hasn't changed at all. And the most surprising part is this: the clothes doing the most damage are usually the ones you feel safest wearing. There is a quiet moment many women experience, usually without realizing it at first. You catch a glimpse of yourself in a mirror, a photo, or a shop window, and something feels off. It's not that you look bad, and it's not that you suddenly look unrecognizable. You just look older than you expected. Not older in a graceful way, older in a tired, slightly invisible way. Most women assume this change comes from aging skin, weight gain, or hormones, but in reality, the biggest shift often has nothing to do with your face or your body at all. It comes from the silent signals your clothes are sending before you even speak, move, or smile. Clothing is not neutral. Every outfit communicates age, energy, confidence, and relevance, long before anyone notices wrinkles or gray hair. After a certain age, especially after 45, these signals become sharper and less forgiving. The same blouse that once felt comfortable can suddenly make your shoulders look sloped. The same dark colors that once felt elegant can begin to drain light from your face. And the outfits chosen purely for comfort can quietly flatten posture, soften presence, and make the entire body appear heavier and more tired than it truly is. This is why so many women say, "I don't feel old, but I look old in pictures," without understanding why. What's happening isn't a failure of style or effort. It's a mismatch between how the body changes with age and how clothes are designed, cut, and perceived. As we grow older, our posture subtly shifts, our skin tone softens, and our movement becomes gentler. Clothes that lack structure, balance, or intention amplify these changes instead of supporting them. Instead of framing the body, they collapse with it. Instead of lifting the presence, they pull it downward. Over time, this creates an overall impression of fatigue, even when you feel energetic and alive inside. There is also a psychological layer that few people talk about. Many women hold on to familiar clothing because it feels safe. These pieces represent who they were during a confident chapter of life, so letting them go feels like letting go of identity. At the same time, there is pressure not to look like you are trying too hard or chasing youth. This often leads to a wardrobe built around invisibility rather than intention. The result is clothing that neither reflects who you are now nor supports how you want to be seen. Instead of looking natural and modern, the outfit sends quiet signals of hesitation, retreat, and self-protection. This is why aging through clothing happens silently. No one tells you outright that your outfit is aging you. People may still compliment you, still smile, still be polite. But the visual language has shifted. The clothes stop working for you and start working against you. They make the face appear duller, the body heavier, and the energy lower, even when none of that is truly accurate. And because this change happens gradually, many women don't notice it until the gap between how they feel and how they look becomes emotionally uncomfortable. The truth is deeply reassuring, though. Looking older is not a permanent state, and it is not caused by age itself. It is caused by outdated visual signals that no longer match the present version of you. When those signals change, perception changes instantly. Not dramatically, not artificially, but quietly and powerfully. The goal is not to look younger than your age. The goal is to stop looking older than you are. And that difference begins not in the mirror, but in understanding how clothing quietly shapes the story others see and the confidence you feel every single day. Most women believe that looking older comes from obvious fashion mistakes, but the truth is far more subtle. It's rarely about wearing something wrong in an obvious way. The real problem lies in clothing choices that once worked beautifully but no longer align with how the body now carries itself. As posture softens, shoulders roll slightly forward, and movement becomes more relaxed. Clothes that lack clear shape begin to collapse rather than support. What feels comfortable on the body can unintentionally signal fatigue to the eye. This is how certain outfits begin to add years quietly, without ever appearing inappropriate or careless. One of the most common mistakes is relying too heavily on overly loose clothing. Many women choose looser silhouettes to feel comfortable or to avoid drawing attention to areas they feel self-conscious about. But when fabric hangs without intention, it removes all visual structure from the body. Instead of creating ease, it creates heaviness. The eye sees width before it sees height, softness before it sees confidence. Over time, this trains the body to appear smaller, rounder, and less present, even when the woman wearing the clothes is vibrant and alert. Comfort should support the body, not erase it. At the opposite extreme, clothing that clings too tightly creates a different aging effect. Tight fabrics emphasize every natural shift in the body and highlight areas the eye might otherwise ignore. Instead of creating definition, they create tension. The result is an outfit that looks strained rather than polished, as if the clothing is fighting the body instead of moving with it. This tension reads as discomfort, and discomfort always reads as age. The most youthful appearance is never about tightness or looseness, but about balance. Length is another powerful but overlooked factor. Tops that end at the widest part of the hips, skirts that cut the leg at an awkward point, or trousers that shorten the vertical line of the body all subtly change proportions. When proportions are off, the body appears heavier and shorter, regardless of actual size. These small visual breaks confuse the eye and disrupt flow, making the overall silhouette feel dated and unrefined. Many women unknowingly repeat these length mistakes for years, wondering why outfits feel off without ever identifying the cause. There is also the issue of habit dressing. Clothes chosen on autopilot often reflect past versions of ourselves rather than who we are now. Pieces that once felt signature can slowly become stagnant. They carry emotional familiarity but lose visual relevance. The world around us evolves quietly, and when clothing does not evolve alongside it, the contrast becomes noticeable. The outfit begins to signal that time has stopped somewhere, even when the woman wearing it has grown wiser, calmer, and more grounded. Perhaps the most damaging mistake is dressing to disappear. This happens when clothes are chosen not to express presence, but to avoid judgment. Neutral doesn't mean invisible, and modest doesn't mean lifeless. When outfits are built purely around hiding, they erase personality and flatten energy. The body language changes too. Shoulders round inward, steps become smaller, and the overall impression becomes apologetic. This has nothing to do with age, and everything to do with how clothing influences posture, movement, and self-perception. None of these mistakes come from lack of style or effort. They come from outdated rules that no longer serve the modern, mature body. When clothes fail to support posture, proportion, and presence, they unintentionally magnify every natural change that comes with time. And once you become aware of this, you begin to see that aging through clothing is not about doing more or trying harder. It's about removing the quiet elements that pull you down instead of lifting you up. Most women assume that aging shows first in the face, but what they rarely realize is how much the face is affected by what surrounds it. Color and fabric sit closest to the skin, which means they influence how light reflects upward onto the face long before makeup, skincare, or lighting ever does. As skin tone softens with age, it becomes more sensitive to harsh contrast and artificial shine. Colors that once looked striking can suddenly feel draining, and fabrics that once felt sleek can begin to look rigid or unforgiving. This shift happens gradually, which is why many women don't notice it until their reflection feels unfamiliar. Dark, heavy colors are often associated with elegance, but as the face matures, they can quietly steal warmth. Black, in particular, has a way of absorbing light rather than reflecting it. On younger skin, this contrast can feel dramatic and sharp. On mature skin, it can exaggerate shadows, deepen lines, and make the eyes appear tired even when they aren't. The face loses softness not because it has changed overnight, but because the surrounding color no longer supports it. This is why some women feel they look healthier in daylight than in evening photos, even when nothing else is different. Fabric plays an equally powerful role. Shiny, stiff, or synthetic materials tend to reflect light harshly, creating sharp edges and unnatural highlights. These reflections draw attention to texture in the skin and disrupt the gentle flow of the body. As the body becomes more fluid with age, rigid fabrics create visual resistance. Instead of enhancing presence, they create contrast in the wrong places. This can make an outfit feel dated or uncomfortable, even when the cut itself is acceptable. Soft, breathable fabrics, on the other hand, move with the body and create a natural rhythm that the eye reads as ease and confidence. Texture is often overlooked, yet it is one of the most aging or de-aging elements in clothing. Flat, lifeless fabrics remove dimension, while overly textured or bulky materials overwhelm the frame. The goal is balance. When fabric has subtle movement and gentle depth, it mirrors the natural softness of mature skin. This harmony allows the face to appear calmer and more rested. When the texture clashes with the skin, the face appears harsher, not because it is, but because the surrounding elements are working against it. Color intensity also matters more than exact shade. Overly bright or overly muted tones can both create problems. Harsh brightness draws attention away from the face, while dull tones drain it. Mature skin responds best to colors that feel lived in rather than loud or lifeless. These tones don't compete for attention, they support it. When color and fabric work together, the face doesn't need to fight to be seen. It naturally becomes the focal point. What many women experience as sudden aging is often nothing more than a mismatch between evolving skin and unchanging wardrobe choices. When clothes no longer reflect light in a way that supports the face, the entire presence feels heavier and less alive. This has nothing to do with fashion trends and everything to do with visual harmony. When that harmony is restored, the face appears clearer, the eyes brighter, and the overall impression more modern and at ease, without a single change to the body itself. Looking modern and confident is not about chasing youth or keeping up with trends. It begins with a quiet shift in intention. Instead of asking whether an outfit hides or fixes something, the focus moves toward whether it supports the body as it is now. When clothing works with posture, movement, and natural softness rather than against it, presence returns almost immediately. The change is subtle but powerful. The body stands a little taller, the face appears more open, and the overall impression becomes calm rather than effortful. Balance is the foundation of ageless dressing. Every outfit communicates through contrast, and when that contrast is intentional, the eye reads harmony instead of age. Structure paired with softness, simplicity paired with depth, and comfort paired with clarity create an appearance that feels current without trying to be young. This is why so-called quiet luxury resonates so deeply with mature women. It is not about labels or expense. It is about restraint, proportion, and ease. Clothing that feels intentional rather than busy allows the woman wearing it to remain the focus, not the outfit itself. One of the most freeing realizations is that looking polished does not require constant shopping or dramatic change. Often, it comes from removing what no longer serves. Letting go of pieces that pull the body downward, flatten the silhouette, or dull the face creates space for clarity. When fewer elements compete for attention, the eye settles naturally. The outfit feels lighter, and so does the person wearing it. This sense of lightness is often mistaken for youthfulness, but it is actually confidence and alignment. Dressing well also changes how a woman moves through the world. Clothing that supports posture encourages openness rather than contraction. Shoulders relax without rounding forward. Steps feel grounded instead of hesitant. The body communicates self-respect before a word is spoken. This is why the right outfit can change not only how others see you, but how you experience your own presence. Aging does not diminish this effect. If anything, it makes it more powerful. True ageless style is not about avoiding age. It is about honoring it without letting it define you. When clothing reflects who you are now rather than who you were or who you think you should be, it restores authenticity. The result is not a younger version of yourself, but a clearer one. Someone who looks comfortable, relevant, and quietly confident in her own skin. And that is the kind of presence that never fades, no matter the number on a calendar.